So very good morning. Welcome to Venice at 10 on NTA News 24. I am Musbah and Wahab.
And I am Usman Aliu. Many thanks for joining us. The news now, the headlines.
President Buhari assures the federal government's commitment towards private sector partnership on science development.
Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu of Lagos State briefs President Buhari on Abule-Ado explosion as correspondent gives update.
Central Bank of Nigeria announces measures to mitigate the impact of coronavirus on the economy.
And appeal court orders stay of execution on suspension of Adams Oshomole as national chairman of the All Progressives Congress.
Thanks a lot for staying tuned in to Venice at 10. Now, additional 3 bodies have been recovered from the rubble of the explosion site at Abule-Ado, Lagos, bringing the number of fatalities to 20. So far, a total of 57 people have been rescued. 47 victims who sustained varying degrees of injury have been discharged, while 10 are still under care at the hospital.
And Nusa Osla reports that the Lagos State Governor, Babajide Sanwo-Olu, who visited the explosion site, has announced relief fund of 2 billion naira to assist the victims.
Residents are still reeling from the destruction wrought by a blast triggered by a pipeline explosion at Abule-Ado Suba community in Amo-Odofin local government area of Lagos State in the early hours of Sunday. The explosion left many people dead and many others injured, and a large portion of the community in ruins. The tragic death of the principal of a girls' college, Reverend Sister Henrietta Aloka, said to be rescuing some students who were trapped in the boarding school but died after the roof of the educational facility fell on her, gives the shivers. An eyewitness, Femi Ekundayo, whose property was affected by the explosion, appealed to government to come to their aid and do everything within its power to put an end to such occurrences.
We do expect that they should meet with the communities, the landlords and residents of this place, and we can discuss issues.
We were trapped since yesterday. Even those people that were injured, that the clinic cannot handle, they were breaking walls of the trade fair before they could take them away.
That is why when those relief people are coming, they were not able to access this place. Because if they could not access through the major road, they should be able to access through the other areas of the community.
Lagos State Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu, who announced the immediate deposit of 250 million naira to the endowment fund for victims of the tragedy, in an emotional-laden voice, said he has never seen a destruction of such magnitude and appealed to well-meaning Nigerians to donate generously into the fund.
I'll be opening up the account for other meaning Nigerians, corporate organizations who wish to support us on this journey. These are funds that we believe will help to quickly settle all of the various medical bills in all the private and public hospitals, also be able to settle all of our displaced citizens, because enumeration will start immediately to know, and like I said in the committee, to know the level of destruction and what needs to be done.
The Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation earlier explained that the explosion was triggered after a truck hit some gas cylinders stacked in a gas processing plant near the corporation's pipeline in Abule-Ado Suba area of Lagos State. In Lagos, Nusa Osula, NTA News.
Meanwhile, Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu of Lagos State has formally briefed President Muhammadu Buhari on the gas explosion that rocked part of Lagos State, leaving in its wake the destruction of lives and valuable property. State House correspondent Adam Sambo reports.
Mr. President was very gracious to receive me and to ask me about where we are and what has happened.
Armed with various pictures on the unfortunate Sunday morning incident in Abuja, Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu showed President Muhammadu Buhari the extent and the level of destruction suffered by Lagosians as a result of the gas and pipeline explosion, which he described as better imagined. He told the president that a high-powered committee led by the deputy governor of the state has been set up to come up with full report on the immediate and remote causes of the incident, what can be done to avert future occurrence, as well as set up an emergency relief fund in aid of the victims.
Say for a 2 billion fund that we believe might not speak to all of the things, but at least it will begin to speak to all of the immediate challenges. And the state government immediately have instructed that 250 million naira should be set aside and put into that fund. Before I left too, I had given instruction that Loma, Neighborhood Watch, and also LASEMA, they've immediately set in motion a cleaning up exercise, because we now need to begin to do restoration and restoration of the entire environment. So that, I imagine, had started now, so that we can begin to bring back some element of normalcy back to those communities.
Describing the incident as unprecedented in Lagos State, Governor Sanwo-Olu said his administration will henceforth be firm and fair on matters relating to public safety and security. From the State House, Adamu Sambu, NTA News.
In the meantime, the federal government, through Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs, Disaster Management and Social Development, through its agency, the National Emergency Management Agency, NEMA, has activated the Lagos State Emergency Management Agency, LASEMA, with a view to rendering any assistance and disaster management expertise that may be required. In a statement, the ministry says it is working with the relevant stakeholders to provide national guidelines on industrial disasters such as pipeline explosions and pipeline safety sensitization programs in communities through which pipelines pass. The ministry expressed sadness of the Lagos oil pipeline explosion which affected the residents of Ijegun, Ikotun, Egbeda, Abuleado, Okota, Isheri-Olofin, Festac and satellite towns. The minister, Sadiya Umar Farouk, sends her condolence to the Lagos State government, families of the deceased, and all affected persons and organizations that have suffered one form of loss or the other.
And now talking health, the federal government has flagged off a nationally integrated medical outreach program in the FCT.
Vice President Yemi Osinbajo, at the occasion, says the program is aimed at sustaining the country's strategy on immunization that has led to appreciable achievements and to further improve primary health care services in the country. State House correspondent Gideon Nifade reports.
As Vice President Yemi Osinbajo flags off the program on behalf of the president, says Nigeria, and indeed Africa, is on the verge of being declared polio-free, and this is expected few months from now as a result of effective implementation of the National Immunization Program, but agrees with medical experts that despite the efforts so far, there is a significant gap in bringing public health services to vulnerable populations, especially in the rural areas in the country.
The federal government is fully responsible for providing the required immunization, vaccines, in collaboration with our global partners